Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. If we have not seen you, Happy New Year, sis.
Hey, sis, Happy New Year to you. And Happy New Year to everyone out there. I don't think I've seen anybody, but Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Yeah.
Yes, it's a new year and we got new things going on. As you can see, we are having let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, sometimes there are some topics that are out there, they are hot. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody has different opinions. And so that's what we're going to be talking about, those topics that are really relevant to what's going on in our families today, because we need the times to change. So that's our new format. So just want to say, you know, welcome you. If you're here, you get the first dibs on this.
So exciting. So exciting. And like you said, yeah, we're going to talk about some of those topics, like you said, that, as we always say, some of those elephant in the room type things we're going to talk about. So I'm excited about that. Or some of those things nobody don't want to talk about.
Yes. So, you know, great evening, Peggy. You're the first one on here, girl. Happy New Year. So, you know, children, teens, young adults, and even adults have moved from being required to stay active to lounging around. And I say that because when I was coming up, there are certain things that you had to do. You couldn't just sit around in the house. But over the several scores that have passed since I was a child, people have found that an opportunity to eat, play, work, and even do homework is just an opportunity to lounge around. Just lounge around. Technology is partially to blame for all the couch potatoes that we have around today. So that's when we're going to be talking about couch potatoes. You know, the couch may resemble a bed. It can resemble a gaming chair, a blanket that you throw on the floor, or something like that. But the users of these things are still couch potatoes. You get me?
Giving it a new definition, huh?
Yes.
Defining it very differently. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. We could not just sit around when we were growing up. You couldn't just be having a lot of idle time. I never forget. We used to it's 8 of us in our family. And so on Saturdays, you done gone to school all week. You've done all those chores. On Saturdays, you would think you could stay in the bed and get a little extra rest. Not in my house. My dad would always say, get up. You ought to be doing something. And he knew I didn't like to cook. So he said, you could be in that kitchen helping your mama make some biscuits. Get up. Don't be just sitting there. It was not for that. Make some biscuits. I still can't make biscuits, but that was what he expected us to do. Yeah. So, yeah. But amazing. Yeah, we are We are in a place where, we do find ways to just be idle and not moving. And yeah, it used to look like we were just sitting on the couch, but like you just said, there were so many different ways that we can just become a couch potato without necessarily having the couch itself.
Right. Well, again, tonight we are discussing how our leisurely choices can get us in some challenging places. The resulting consequences we can't quickly turn around. Carol and I are going to discuss some of these issues. We will be sure to bring you some positive information that will help you maybe turn it around if you find yourself in these different places. But you'll see where I'm going.
Yeah.
Well, the first one, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna throw Carol under the bus. I'm gonna go out there and talk about television. Television. Now, back in the day, you only had one television, and it was probably in the living room, but we did not use it like you use it today. Of course, we didn't have 3 stations, but the adults pick what was going to be watched on TV, and we watch westerns or something like that. What was Clark, the American Bandstand, and stuff like that. But now we have television. We got televisions in every room. And one of the things that happened when talking about these couch potatoes is that we just let television just take over our minds. And I can say our. So, I can jump in on this one. But one thing we do is we binge watch. You haven't watched something, and I'm going to be telling on Deborah on all this right here about television. But I think it's been like 2-3 years. I heard people talking about sisters this and sisters that and sisters that. I never watched Sisters for whatever reason. Child, like the last 3 weeks, I've been like this. Episode after episode after episode. So, in that time, and there's no such thing. I just got reminded about this week. There's no such thing as multitasking. So even though I may have the computer there, supposed to be doing some Be Your Best Life stuff, I'm paying attention to that TV. This just being a couch potato. I'm just sitting around where I could be doing some quality stuff, but I'm letting that TV control me.
Right.
And then another thing that I know is really, really bad. And I don't know, it's just me. I'm detail oriented, and I like to be organized. So there's 2 shows I like to watch. I like to watch The Voice, where they have all these contestants on there, and they're trying to see who can get the singing contract. And then I like to watch Ready to Love with Tommy. But instead of me just sitting there just watching it and enjoying it and say, well, I think that person is good or whatever, every week I got a sheet of paper. I got everybody's name. I'm writing down what song they sing. I'm picking the ones that I want on my team. Talk to me, because I'm looking at The Voice. Don't talk to me. Okay, answer the phone. Now, what you want there? Wait till a commercial come on. Y'all know that's horrible. So I told y'all I have to tell on myself.
So this is really one of yours, huh, Deborah?
Yes. So I know I'm not the only one out there. So, hey, we just letting television just take over our lives, some of us, when we could be doing some other quality stuff. So, so if I'm doing it, just think about if your teens are doing this and everything else. But really, and I said I was going to get some positive stuff. If you think about everything that's going on in the world today, and our children, as they grow up, they go, you get further and further apart because they want to hang with their friends. They want to talk about different topics than you're talking about. But instead of being on that television, if you're going to sit and watch something that you can do together and have fun together, something like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. Because like when my youngest son was a teenager, every night he had to watch Jeopardy, because that's all about what do they call it? trivia. So you're learning things, you're learning stuff, and then we would do it as a family because both he and I would be trying to guess or whatever. But it's something that where you are learning. So you sitting together, but as a family. And when the commercials come on, you got time to, talk to your son, your daughter, find out what's going on today. What did you do today? If they got a history category, you ever learn any of this stuff in history? So it's an opportunity to say that all of television is not bad. It's how we utilize and how we do our thing.
Mm-hmm. That is so true.
Yeah.
Well, Deborah, that's so funny you're telling on yourself, but I bet we all can relate to that as well. And I don't have no list of all who's contestants and those kind of things, but I am a binge watcher when it comes to Christmas Hallmark movies. So yes, I can become one at that time. And here's the craziest thing. I probably watched some of the same ones over and over again. And I'm like, girl, it's really something wrong with you to continue to watch it. And you know what's going to happen, but you just sit there and watch it. So that's one of my favorite things doing watching television. So, and especially during Christmas time, I love to watch those Christmas Hallmark movies. But talking about couch potatoes, what do you think about the people who do video games? That the video games now, as a matter of fact, I was at the gym today and the lady was on her stepper, but she was doing something on her phone, doing a video game. I was like, how is she managing to walk on this stepper and do the video game? So those video games can make us, like you said, if we are moving, it's still a place where it's stagnating us and keeping us focused on one thing instead of being able to be in communication with anyone else. It's almost like it's my game and I'm all in it. And so, but of course now I've learned that you can put other people in on the games. Is that correct? They can add other people. So I guess they're not doing it all by themselves. So, but sometimes, what was that? I don't know if you guys got a chance to go see The Forge. Did you see that yet?
I saw that, yes, the other night.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that young man had graduated, and that was all he was doing was on his video. His mom was getting on him because he was just on those video games. He had everything to go with it, the different controllers, his headphones, and he was talking to his buddies, and they were doing some of these fighting games and that kind of thing. And so video games can make us become some couch potatoes if we are just so focused on that. Not even some people like this young man, he was so consumed with the video games and couldn't, and if he got off the video game, he was going to do something else, but play basketball. But in that thing, that was one of the things he had to learn how to give up if he was gonna follow Christ. So the video games can make us be couch potatoes. And I don't know about you, but sometimes even playing the video games while you're trying to do your homework. How can you focus? And even if it's not on the couch, you're in a chair, you're slouched over, you got the video game going, and you're over here trying to do your math, and you got the video. That is absolutely no concentration on what you need to focus on. So that's another way that we can become a couch potato. Even if we're not physically doing it, we are mentally becoming couch potatoes where we're just not using our mind and just not using it to be productive. I guess the video game is productive for that adrenaline that they have going. But if you're trying to do homework and be on the phone and all those kinds of things at one time, not really happening.
It's something else. Yeah, and I can relate to those video games because my two youngest grandkids, my son will, my daughter-in-law will FaceTime so I can spend time with them. But sometimes I'll notice if it's my son, and so I'm talking to the kids, but he's looking like this, right? And I'm saying, son, why are you staring? I'm looking at you, Mom. But what he's actually doing, and I don't know how he's doing it, but while he's FaceTiming with the kids, they supposed to be talking to Nana. He's actually, the TV's in front of him. He's actually on his video. I'm like, okay. And then if I get quiet, he's like, Mom, you don't want to talk? Well, you be sitting there for 15 minutes not saying anything to me.
That is too funny.
So we are, so if you just join, we talk about these couch potatoes and how people are not active anymore like they used to be, but they are just sitting around doing things that are really not value added. Just doing their own thing. I know we have to relax. We have to have my me time, but not all the time.
Right.
Like I said, I can watch The Voice, but do I have to tally everything down?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try the season that comes up. I think the season starts in February. I'm gonna see if I can watch it without doing all that. See how that works.
Just try it, huh? And see.
Nope.
Oh, that is too funny. Yeah.
Well, another one that I have found, we got a lot of couch potatoes, is mealtime. Mealtime.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have teenagers that have their own cars and they're stopping by fast food places on the way home and dinner time, well, I don't want anything. I'm just going to get a piece of fruit or a snack. What's happening is nobody's having meals together. That used to be family time. We sit down, we talk, we find out what's going on. How did your day go? You found out if there was a kid was having an issue with a teacher, because they wouldn't just come home and tell you. But if you're sitting there and you're having family conversation, everybody's relaxed, you're eating, you're laughing, then things begin to kind of flow. But now you will find this one will come in, you may have dinner ready, you may not, and it might be every man on his own. But if you do have meals, they'll come in, get their plate, go in their room. And like you say, they're playing the video game and eating. Mm-hmm. Mm. This one in the bedroom, in their room, they're eating. Deborah in the office, supposed to be doing schoolwork. Not schoolwork, Be Your Best Life. And I'm eating. So nobody is together. There's no quality family time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm laughing, but it's not funny. Mm-hmm. Because, we find you hear in the news where this one has issues with mental health. This person has committed suicide because this person has been bullying them for 3 months, 4 months. This one has been on drugs. You didn't know they were experimenting with drugs. Why? Because you're not spending any time together. Everybody is in a room doing their own thing. You're not sitting down long enough to see, does my child look different? Are they talking differently? We're just, being a couch potato, but we're not even sitting on the couch. It'd be one thing if we were all sitting on the couch together. But we're all separating ourselves in that gaming chair, on that sofa, laying on that blanket, throw back on the bed. And you're talking about, do they play each other? Yeah, because my grandkids do it. They can sit right next to each other. Come on, Sean, tell me what it is. Is it Roblox? Something like that. I know it starts with R, but they play each other now. So they can play anything that's allowed to play. Yeah, Sean said family rules. Dinner at 6:30, no phone, no TV. That's good, Sean. I love it. I love it. Mm-hmm. We need more of that so you can have that family time. And like I say, I'm laughing because I want to, make it light. I want people to, not dread the conversation. But this is a real conversation that's really, really crucial because we are losing so many of our young people. We need to connect with them. You got to connect at home. You can't expect them to do it on Sundays at church or in youth ministries or at school. You've got to get that connection with your child. You've got to be able to look at your child and say, all of a sudden, They don't eat at all, and they lose
Mm-hmm.
weight. Why? Is someone bullying them that they're overweight? People do that. And then if you're sitting all the time, you're not getting that exercise. When I was in school, when you were in elementary school, you went out every day. We had recess. When I got to junior high, middle school, you had to take a course of PE. Everybody had to exercise
Mm-hmm.
every all the whole school year. It wasn't something you got to pick and choose. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's you don't have to do that. So I'm in here, I'm on the computer, and so if I don't make an effort to get up and walk or do something, my bones and joints are not getting used. I'm not getting any vitamin D if I'm inside. Like sis, you go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I'm on the computer from 9 till 8 o'clock at night. So we know
Mm-hmm.
all that's not good. But if I'm doing that and I have teenagers in the house, what are they doing?
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And it's an opportunity, like you talking about. All of these require us getting back connected with the family. All of this can disconnect us, but from the television, the video game, on our phones, all of those. It may not be you're sitting in front of the TV shooting guns at the TV, but like I said, they've made it so easy for people to access everything. We do almost everything on our phones now.
right.
So everything can be done on the phone, even the games. But mealtime and like you mentioned, so important that they spend some time together, because that's how you figure out what's really going on. And sitting down at mealtime is an opportunity for the family to be able to share share what's going on. And like and sometimes it's not always the verbal conversation that we all need. Sometimes it's that time where they're nonverbal, that you can read things and see things that's going on if everybody is sitting down. And I loved whoever said, take all the electronic stuff away, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get their attention. And even when you go out to eat at dinner time, go out for dinner, what do you see everybody doing? On their phones. And so it's still not an opportunity to have some family time or some time to communicate. So yeah, these have made us kind of where we are not interacting with our families. We're not taking advantage of the family time and being able to find out what's going on with one with one another. So it is something that we, like you say, this is a conversation we really need to have. How we are not physically, long time ago, how couch potatoes used to be just lazy, on the sofa, but now it's so many other things that make us mentally couch potatoes.
All right.
So one other one that we want to talk about is, what about doing homework? That there's no sometimes there's no place that the kid is actually that's been designated for them to do their homework. So and I must admit, these kids can multitask a whole lot better than we can. But uh, they're doing their homework now on while they got these earbuds in their ear, but they're doing their homework. And uh, I wrote, and even now, Google can make our kids not sit down and really spend time learning, because what if they need to know something and nobody's monitoring them and they got their phones? They can just ask Google, what's the answer to this? And not to mention AI is here. Is a whole new ball game of how kids are really not able to do homework the way we used to have to sit down there and if you didn't get it done, you'd burn that midnight oil because you had to get it done before you got ready to go to school the next day. So homework, and it used to be a time that even the kids would sit down and at dinner or after dinner or something, but that would be a place that homework could take place around the kitchen table, so that they could, if they needed some assistance, that would be a great opportunity for them to have some assistance, whether it was parents or another sibling, but that was an opportunity to do that. But now it's like the earphone, the earplugs are in, the phones are out. It used to be all the little handheld games, but now everything, like I said, they condense everything to that phone, and they can do everything on the phone. So I don't,
Everything.
and I mean everything. And so now put the phones up in school, but I think now they can have the phones out. I don't know, some educator need to help me with that one, but it's just that it's made us a culture that we simply are not taking that time, spending that time, uh, taking that lesson and really, really going through it and finding out so you can know for yourself. And it's just another way that they can take that technology and use that technology and not learn anything that they need to learn.
That's right. That is so true, so true, so true. And homework, and it is also an opportunity for parents to try to to learn some of this new stuff, because
Mhm.
let me see, it's not, I think it even started with which one, not my youngest grandkids, but I found out that they don't even multiply like we used to multiply. They put it on a box with some grids, and I'm like, huh, what? Why they do it like that? That seems like it's so hard. But
Mhm.
they do it a different way. So if you're not spending time with your kids, looking at their work, checking their work, you don't even
Mhm.
know that they're doing something different. Okay, if they're doing something different, you should want to know, okay, how does that go? You know, so
Mhm.
if you get that concept, maybe they get to a point and they have a question you can answer. But if it's Greek to you, because you're not even paying them any attention,
Yeah.
you just lost.
And and that's true. And then sometimes it even help the parent to ask the child to explain it to them, like you were saying. And that's another way that they're solidifying what they learn, because now if they know it enough to explain it to you, that means they understand what they're doing.
Right. So it's just anytime you find an opportunity to instill principles within the kids that will help them, we need to do it. It's like at our children's church. So those kids that are in grades 1 through 5, I have
Hmm.
a binder for them. And so I have different information in that binder. And then I'll
Hmm.
ask them, well, how many have their binders today? And they don't have them. And it's like, well, where's your binder? Oh, well, mama, is that your mama binder? Well, is that your mama binder? No. I said, well, well, see, it was in my room, but then I think my mama, but is it, it's not your mama binder. You the one got to look at the binder. You should know where it is. Well, see, I thought we were going to go in this one car, and then we went in the other car, and my binder was, so you telling me you going to take it in the house and study?
Hmm.
Oh, no, I'm like Judge Judy, is not an answer. It's all in, what can we do to make a difference? And so if
Hmm.
we all work together, we can have a larger impact. So this is
Hmm.
food for thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I was looking at a few things here that, if nothing else, we want to encourage everybody to get to moving physically, mentally, and emotionally as well. Because if you're not a couch potato, you might be a couch engager in that person. If you're engaging in that, it's still somewhat you're missing out on some things. And so as I was looking at this, Deborah, I was thinking about when we don't move around and we don't get up and get to moving, like just sitting around doing nothing, or sitting around not being actively engaged with what's going on with your children, not being actively engaged in even if we're watching television, to have some interaction, family wise and whatever. But we got to get moving. And when we get moving, it helps our physical health as well, because we are up and moving and not just standing in one place and not just sitting around and not being active. That can lead to a lot of physical health problems. We talk about our kids not moving. It can lead to obesity, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. And so, you want to get up and get to moving and not just sitting around and not doing anything. And then we talk about the games. And I think sometimes when they're so engaged in that and they are in a place where they are socially isolated, they're so involved in so in tune to that game that if they're not interacting with somebody else or just those people that are engagers with them, what about the social skills that they're not being able to use, interacting with people, having a conversation with people?
Right.
So it also, and then it does create a feeling of loneliness, because now you just got this one isolated bunch of people, and that kid, or we can begin to feel isolated, even if something that we're doing ourselves. It's a place where we can begin to feel lonely and not having an emotional well-being with other, emotionally feeling healthy, and because we are isolating ourselves. And then the other thing I thought about was sometimes with that couch potato mentality, if you're on the games or they're on the games and they're watching TV all times of night, we have a poor sleep quality. You're not sleeping well. You're not getting that 8 hours of rest. And so kids can get up tired and go to bed tired. Right. If they are not, able to interact. So, and we know when we talk about that homework, if they're not actively engaged in that homework, then their productivity is going to be lessened. We're not going to have the kind of productivity that you want them to have. The kids will say, I did my homework. Well, you got them all wrong. So obviously there's a problem. Either you didn't understand it or you didn't take your time to get it done. But that goes back to what we're just saying, how we have to actively, and I think we have to be intentional about making sure that we're not the physical couch potato. We got to make sure we're not the potato engager, the couch engager, where we're encouraging, or if I'm over here doing my thing and everybody else over here, we're kind of encouraging that right. kind of mentality. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So those are all awesome points, because we know, again, one thing trickles down to the other thing. So you're not moving, you're gaining the weight, then you get into different medical conditions. You get into medical conditions, and it impacts some other organ. So it just spirals all out of control. And then if you isolate yourself with the games, if you think about it and you listen to some of these mass shooters, oh, he was a good guy. He was a loner. All he did was play on his games. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're alone. You're not talking to anybody. You don't have any kind of personal skills. You don't relate to anybody. So you're getting depressed. None of that stuff is good. So we need to link together. And do a whole lot better interacting with each other.
Exactly. And there are some adults that almost said they grow up and become isolated, and they don't have social skills and don't want to work with anybody, and so it does trickle down, and so if we just have to be intentional about not allowing that to be one of the things that we're engaging or embracing, that it's okay. So sometimes people need to know how some of these happen and where did they start from, so we can begin to start from today. Be willing to talk to others about that kind of change that needs to take place.
All right. Yep. So I hope you all enjoyed tonight and our launch of Let's Talk About It. So we will be talking about it on Thursdays, every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Central Standard Time, with trending and hot topics. If you have a topic that you want us to throw out there, by all means, please send that information to us. We appreciate it. We appreciate all your likes, comments, and shares. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you have anything else before we close out?
No,
Sis?
sis, that's all. Just let's get up and let's start moving, and let's not just think it's a physical move, but let's begin to move our mind as well, so that we won't be sitting in a place that we do have. We don't have, like I think Coach Ricardo said this: your health is your greatest wealth, and that means emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That's the greatest wealth that we can have. So we want to make sure we're making the best of each one of those.
Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you all for tuning in today. Please join us Saturday for Conversation with the Guys. Their topic is going to be, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I can't wait to hear their conversation. And it's going to be Derek Durden, Dan Smith, Dr. Joseph Levette, and Dr. Kevin Wilbon. So it's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 Central Time. So please join them Saturday. And I will be back Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us. And our guest, you probably haven't seen him in a while, but if you have been following me, you probably remember a young man, Raphael Roker. And he's been away a while. He's been in school, but he's doing some wonderful things. And so he'll be on here next week. And I just can't wait to have a conversation with him. But he's doing blogs and all types of things, preaching the word of God. So I can't wait to see Raphael again. So thank you all again. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. And if it's like it is here in Jacksonville, Florida, stay warm. It's cold out there.
We got snow in Texas, in Dallas. Yeah. Ice and snow. Yes.
Wow. Well, y'all be careful with all that snow and ice.
We're in the house. Trust me.
All right. Love everyone. Good night.
Good night.